All right, so up next for our next lovely speaker is Axion, who will be discussing focusing on weaknesses, and in stark contrast with what is known as hyperfocusing, we'll be discussing some tips and tricks for how to best go about getting better at your weaknesses and all things related to that. So, Axion, I will leave you to your talk, and thank you everyone for being here.
All right, thanks. Uh, so my talk is about focusing on weaknesses, and how it'll better improve your gameplay. So, to give an example, I have a friend of mine. He has like 200 hours playtime. He farms DT. All his top plays are A and B rank FCs. He has an 8-star FC. He's, I think he was like 15K on his peak, but all he played was DT and he was really bad at everything else. So when he played in a multiplayer, he just couldn't play anything other than anything below AR10 or anything not aim related. And that's why just an example on how hyperfocusing isn't the best for you. I'll be talking about the other end of the spectrum, which is playing in your weaknesses instead of hyperfocusing. So firstly, I'm gonna talk about my profile. My IGN is Axion with a Q instead of an O. I'm 105K. I play tournaments. And I've played for around 15 months. I have around 480 hours playtime and 100 plus offline. And yeah, I'm gonna be telling you what I learned in these uh few hundred hours of playtime. I started off pretty mundane. I just really played aim until like 400K, where I actually looked at Tony's video on streams and decided to try it out. It was actually really good. I had a lot of fun playing streams, learning something new, even though it was hard. Uh, when I was around like 300K, I learned tech. It was more, well, it was like really low star tech. It was like high 4-star, low 5-star tech. So it wasn't really, it was more of finger control and not slider spam and uh, really weird flow in. When I reached 200K, I actually tried to learn easy. Uh, this one was like, I think I had the most fun learning easy out of all the skill sets I learned, because having to start off at like 3 to 4 stars and grinding easy actually uh have some really good scores on easy. And up to today, I actually still do play it like a bit. But okay, when I play streams at 400K, obviously I couldn't see any improvement in my other skill sets. I didn't really see any improvement in my other skill sets when I learned tech as well. But it actually like really shined. It really the improvement that I got from playing easy really showed after I played like aim. So easy actually requires like a lot of reading, and aim also requires like a lot of reading. Aim is mostly reading anyway. So after learning easy, my aim actually improved a lot, and so did my low AR reading skills. Because before I played easy, I could only read AR9 and above. But after playing easy, I could actually got more involved into like reading low ARs like 7 and 8 and playing uh old maps that have low AR and weird patterns. Alright, then I think I plateaued at 200K for a very long time. I was just really enjoying myself, and uh I sh- I'm still in high school, so I think it was exam season, so I didn't really have time to play much. But uh a few hours after I learned easy, I I farmed for like 10 days. It was sort of my farm week. I sort of regret it, but it doesn't matter because I actually learned a lot during my farm week. I farmed from like 190K to 90K in 10 days. Uh, and even though I wouldn't say this 10 days of farming actually improved my other skill sets, but what it improved was something else really. I learned how to get past my mind blocks. And I guess you could say that this skill is very beneficial no matter what skill set you play in. Like if you're trying to go for a pass on something or a good score, not even an FC, you can if you have a good mindset and you can clear your mind blocks quick enough, you will do better as compared to if you kept holding on to your mind block. Yeah. So also about like low 90K at the time. And I started playing tournament pools usually around like mid to low 5 digit range. And this was basically to like see what skill sets I could play into and like looking at what skill sets I still have to learn. Because at this point of time, I was pretty convinced that playing around your weaknesses will actually help you improve on skill sets that you're already good at. Yeah, so I played like I think at this point of time I could play everything except I was really bad at alt. I couldn't stream past 200 and I couldn't play hard rock. Other than that, I could read AR 10.3. I guess I don't have to play much above 10.3, so I'll take that as a win. And yeah, I just played tournament pools for a really long time, around 2 to 3 months. I just kept playing pools over and over again. Yeah, and then when and then I didn't really farm a lot. I think since I got a 5 digit around 4.5 months ago. I haven't ranked up since. My graph has just been going down because I haven't done anything farm related. Yeah, so around when I was like in the middle of from then until now, I I learned how to play alt. I didn't really like grind it. It was more of a passive process where I learned how to play alt. And after playing all, I could immediately, like after 3 or 4 days, I could actually immediately see that my flow aim and my streaming actually got better after I learned 3 to 4 days of all. And I think it's really impressive how learning a skill set you're bad at actually shows that quick. Because to give a bit of background, I'm a full-on chronic single tapper. I single tap alt maps. I used to single tap alt maps. I think I still do. And yeah, I was just really bad at alt. I had trouble streaming low BPM as well, because my figure control on low BPM was really, really bad. Yeah, but after I learned like a bit of alt, I also played a bit of high AR. I and I also dusted on my other skill sets like streaming and tech. Yeah, and at this point of time, I can play like an entire full range tournament pool other than speed, maybe alt and hard rock. And yeah, after that, recently I've been getting into the tournament scene, the 6 digit tournament scene. I've been sort of, I guess, just playing for fun while trying to go for a good result as well. And yeah, this was my this was my journey, and I feel that my journey really told me that focusing on weaknesses actually improve yourself as a whole. Next, I'll be talking about how to focus on your weaknesses. So obviously, when you're playing something you're bad at, usually when someone is bad at something, they don't like it. People who people who aren't who are like new to hard rock, people who are only comfortable at 9.5 around there, they really hate hard rock. At least that's what I've seen. Like they despise hard rock and they don't want to touch it ever. But I would say that uh it's actually it's not detrimental to learn hard rock, of course. I actually think you should learn it early on instead of like being a 6 digit and hating hard rock, then becoming 4 digit, not knowing how to play hard rock. And then I think you really regret the fact that you can't play hard rock because you didn't learn it at the start. Yeah. So my first tip is to start off slow. Uh, I think you should play lower star rating when you first learn a new skill set. This is because you're like focusing on the skill set itself and not on other factors. Like uh let's say if you're learning speed and you play maps that are like high star rating that have like a lot of space in the streams, you're sort of deviating away from the power of speed. Yeah, so you should play like around low star ratings. My second tip is to play songs that you think are good. You play bangers. This is just motivation, I guess. It's to alleviate your pain. It's like your copium, because I know playing a skill set that you're bad at or you don't like can be a really painful experience. So if you play songs that you like, it will sort of make the experience more fun, I guess. Number three is to not hyper focus on the weakness that you're playing. This is because even though I said that it can improve your other skill sets, like it's still bad to hyper focus on your weakness in general, because you will see a detriment in your gameplay. For example, if I remember I played easy for like a week straight. I only looked at AR5, AR4, AR4 to 5 for a week straight. The day I came back to normal, AR7 was really, really fast for me, and I just couldn't keep up. I had to take a whole day derusting to relearn how to read low AR, higher AR, I mean. And yeah, my 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 fourth tip is to just enjoy the fruits of your labor. Continue playing, I guess, what you enjoy to play. You might want to continue working on a weakness, or you could move on to another weakness, which is probably the best choice you can make. And I guess reminders that I will give you guys if you really want to focus on your weakness is that uh weakness focusing on your weaknesses will be a painful experience, even if you play bangers, even if you play like maps that you like maps from mappers that you like, or songs from artists that you like. It still will not be fun. You just have to tell yourself that, at the end of the day, I'll get better, not only in this skill set, but in other skill sets, after playing for a certain amount of time. My second tip is that you, my second reminder is that you always have off days when you play. Uh, what I mean by this is that, like one day you can be playing, you get like around, let's say 94 to 93 act. And then like maybe on day 3 or 4, you see like a improvement in your scores. I'd say that this isn't like a problem of skill. It's just that your gameplay is affected by many factors. And I feel that sleep is a really huge one. So if you wanna play and hope for good scores, you need to have a good sleeping schedule. Uh, and yeah, even if you get good sleep, you can still like suddenly play bad on a day, and you just have to accept it and tell yourself that tomorrow I will be better than this and I will improve on my scores. And it brings me to my third point of having a good mindset. Every time you play a map, you can't be like, oh, the score I set yesterday was so lucky. I'll never be able to beat this. You have to tell yourself that, okay, I did this yesterday. I'm a better player today, so I can get a better score on this. And having a good mindset really helps in, I guess, sort of playing better. My fourth reminder is to accept that you will not always be the best, not in the skill set, not in the rank range. There will always be people better than you. You might not know it, but there are people who are actually really good at also game, and like holy shit, if you know about them, you'll be shocked too. They are really really good, even though they might not be popular, but yeah, you just have to accept that if you like go to the also channel and you see an 80k pass raise my sword as like a 50k, when you know you can't even get close to it, you have to tell yourself that like uh you just have to not compare yourself to others in a way that it will affect you negatively. Also a single player game anyway, so like I guess just try to get involved with yourself more. I'm not saying that being involved with the community is bad. It's quite important to have friends and also, but I'm just saying that uh if you just shouldn't compare yourself with uh people who seem better than you in a bad way. You I guess you could make it so like the relationship is where you look up to them and you want to be better than them, but not to a point where you're like just saying that, oh, I'm so bad, he's lower ranked than me and he can do this and I can't, stuff like that. And my first reminder is to take breaks while you're playing. This is very important. Sometimes, just going to the washroom, like washing your hands, using the toilet. Remember to shake your hands after you to dry them. You will find that like taking momentary breaks, even like longer 20 to 30-minute breaks, if you're having a really big if you have a really big session, it will actually help. You come usually when I take a 10 to 20-minute break from a 8-hour session, I'll feel a bit better when I play. Yeah, I guess it's sort of clearing mind blocks. And yeah, to summarize my talk, I'd say that if you want to improve in also game and you're not like a really casual gamer, uh if you want to improve while having fun, I'd say you should try to focus on your weaknesses, especially stuff you don't like. Take take the skill sets that you don't like one at a time. You don't want to overload yourself. You do it slowly, start on low star ratings, play banger maps, and remember to also play the skill sets that you like. Because in the end, also, playing also is about enjoying yourself, not like being number one. And yeah, you'll find that you'll do better in the long run if you improve on your weaknesses. All right, I'm done with my talk.